the, thank you very much. And I will pull up the presentation that we have prepared here. All righty. So let me go ahead and show the slides here. So give me 1 second, please. Sorry, my system is slow today. In all departments, it's slow. I apologize. Okay, here we go. So Cleantech Open we are in the last few days, couple of weeks before we are going to be accepting or closing the application portal. So if you are planning to apply, make sure to apply soon. Cleantech Open's application deadline is April 17th. So keep that in mind. What we're going to do today is we're going to hear a little bit about Cleantech Open, what we do, what the program's all about, and we're going to hear from some experts at MIT who are involved with clean tech innovation and who support the MIT community. And we're also going to hear from a few of our Cleantech Open alumni. So this is super exciting. So what I'm going to do first is, actually, I will just say Cleantech Open is a national program. We are run in the Northeast by this stellar team here. So I am the senior director here in the Northeast. Skelly Holmbeck is our interim program manager. Olivia LaRoche is an intern, and Safia Elmi is our spring coordinator. I believe we have Olivia and Safia on today, so thank you for joining us. It's a great group, so this is the group that you would end up working with if you join us. So Cleantech Open is a national accelerator. I run the Northeast region with my team here out of an organization called NECEC. NECEC is the Northeast Clean Energy Council. And what I like to say is that this group is essentially laying the green carpet for clean tech startups in this region. It's a way for people who are in this sector to work directly with experts who are directly connected with policy and regulatory work in order to really build this region as the strongest place to do business if you are a clean tech company of any size. So what I'm going to say is, if you have an early stage startup in the clean tech space, we'd love to hear from you. This is not really a competition. This is really just a way for you to introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about what you're working on, and we'd love to know what you're about. We'll give each of you 1 minute. So please let Safia Elmi know in the chat if you'd like to introduce yourself that way, and we'll call on you toward the end. So very briefly, we have several sponsors in the Northeast, and this is an incredible group of, this is an incredible support system for clean tech startups in this region. So as a nonprofit, we are pretty much all of our support comes from our sponsors, and the program is heavily subsidized because of that. So we have MassCEC and NYSERDA are essentially in charge of the energy transitions for their respective states, Massachusetts and New York. We work very closely with both of them, and they both offer many opportunities for startups coming through our program. You'll see in the regional gold sponsors category, we have a new sponsor this year, National Grid, who had been a sponsor several years ago and is now back. Very, very happy to have National Grid back as a sponsor in the gold category. And as you know, they are a significant utility in our space. Sire Foundation is a family foundation that is offering 2 special prizes this year, one for ag, food, and land use, and the other for carbon sequestration. So lots of opportunities for getting prizes, getting recognized, and the idea there is to really push people to want to participate and make a difference in the world. You'll see we also have some organizations in the regional silver area. So Canada refers to the Canadian Consulate in New York. NJEDA is the New Jersey Economic Development Authority. Foley Hoag is a law firm specializing in really general law with an energy practice. Sunstein is another law firm specializing in IP, very important in this space. And Schneider Electric is an energy company. You'll see in the bronze category, we have AGC, which is Asahi Glass Company, Citi, the bank, Chubb, which is an insurance company, and we actually have some excellent things that they're able to do to validate technologies with their insurance risk assessments. And Constellation, an energy company, Novartis, which is a pharma company, and Xylem, which specializes in water tech. I'm going to skip the ones below and just let you know about the ones on the right, which are our in-kind sponsors. These are organizations that provide goods and services directly to our startups in the form of software packages and incubator space, and in some cases, reimbursement for your participation in the program, and also various types of consulting and other services. So these are your people, among others, but these are a really good group of people who are here to support you and to offer a wide variety of things to help you along your entrepreneurship journey. So what do we mean when we say clean tech? Well, in the Cleantech Open world, pretty much anything that has a solution that can benefit the environment, we will consider. The typical ones that people think of in traditional clean tech would be the ones on the left: energy generation, distribution, storage, and efficiency. We are obviously doing a lot more than just those things now, and involved in green building, clean transportation, agriculture, water, waste, chemicals and advanced materials, information and communications technologies. Any combination of these, it could be that your solution is a hardware, software, service, business model. We are interested in all of the above. So what do we do? Cleantech Open is like a mini MBA. We provide training in the form of an online curriculum, lots of events, coaching, and excellent mentorship. So in the Northeast, we're able to match as many as 4 mentors per startup. So if you come in with a 2-person team, you suddenly have grown by 3x, which is significant. This team of mentors is able to work with you like an advisory board. In terms of access to capital, we have various types of investors embedded in the program, but we also have a deliberate investor connect toward the end of the program, where we enable you to meet various types of investors as well as potential customers. And then, of course, showcasing and prizes, and you can see our 2018 winners from who are actually from Massachusetts, who won in won the national grand prize, holding up their big check. We have prizes at the regional level, and we have prizes at the national level. So regional, we'll get into this, but at the regional level, we have $60,000 worth of prizes, and at the national level, there's one prize for $50,000. So what's our schedule? April 17th, big day. That is the final application deadline. And throughout May, we will select the cohort, make introductions to mentors, and then we start in earnest. Our first big event is an event that spans 3 days. That's our National Academy. And June through September, we run a wide variety of business clinics. And in addition to this, many webinars and other sessions which will give you a chance to really test your assumptions. And I like to say, stress test your startup. September 27th and 28th, we will be in person in Boston. So very exciting for the Northeast Regional Finals. And then in October, we will have our global forum, which will be most likely in San Jose, California. So let me run through this 2 more times and tell you a couple of things to point out here. So through September 27th, everything is private just for the cohort. So this is meant to be a safe space for you to work and try out different ideas and pivot if needed, ask questions that you think may not be questions that you want everybody to know you're asking. But this is a time to really work on getting your startup in the right form. I will also mention that everything through the business clinics is virtual. We will be in person for the regional finals. The first day of the finals is private. The second day is a big public event with a showcase and award celebration. So that's that story. And what do? So you will create deliverables. We start with customer discovery. We help you work on a business model canvas. And as you go through the program, you will continue to update your business model canvas, which is essentially a 1-page business plan, business model, as you work through the various topics. So we cover topics ranging from marketing, go-to-market strategy, competitive analysis and assessment, sustainability, and calculating your greenhouse gas emissions reduction potential. That's what GHG-ERP stands for. You will look at financial modeling, legal topics, team building, insurance, which we mentioned, partnerships, complex sales, all kinds of things are built into this, but these are the key topics that you will cover in terms of the things that you will deliver. And at the end, you have all of these materials that you can use to help you run your business. So how are we doing? Well, in 2020, we did some analysis, and we found out of the 414 alumni that we had in the Northeast at that time, 68% were still in business. This is a really significant number. And we also learned that they had generated 279 million or were earning 279 million in revenue, and that they had raised $653 million collectively. Also employing 3,300 people, and the diversity is significant. So we are now at about 62% of our startups in the last couple of cohorts that have either a woman or a minority founder. We're continuing to work on that. So diversity and equity and inclusion are built into the programming that we offer. And as you can see, we had at the time 47 startups matched to 175 mentors. Last year, we had 52 startups start the program. We had matched them with 196 mentors, and we had, I believe, we had 44 alumni last year in the Northeast. And you can see what we say when we say Northeast: Eastern Canada, Maine, south through Pennsylvania. So 9 states plus Eastern Canada encompasses the Northeast at this point. So greenhouse gas emissions reduction potential. This is why we do what we do, is to help people reduce their impact on the environment. So collectively, our startups last year told us that they would reduce 101 million metric tons of CO2 equivalent per year when they're at scale. So that's 44 startups telling us collectively that when they're at scale, they will do this. 22 million cars off the road. Even if a small percentage of this happens, it is progress. So we are really looking forward to giving them, the next group of startups, every advantage to enable them to do this too. So what are some of the things that we are focused on again in 22? Diversity, equity, and inclusion. We have a special module on that. Greenhouse gas emissions reduction potential. We will teach you how to calculate your environmental impact so you can contribute to the 22 version of the last slide. And as I mentioned, we have $60,000 in cash prizes. That is 6 prizes, which are 4 general prizes, plus the 2 specialty prizes of ag, food, and land use, and carbon sequestration. Plus, you can win over $300,000 worth of goods and services. So lots of opportunity here. And for a steal. So it's $75 to apply for your whole team. And it's $1,350 for your team to participate. If you are a student team, there's a reduced rate of $975. So there are opportunities for certain people from different places to get reduced fees, and we do not take equity in your startup. So what do we look for in your application? Market, solution, and team. It's very simple. Is there a market for what you are working on? Does it look like it could support your business? And does your solution look like it could work and actually solve the problem that you believe you are trying to solve? Does it address that need? Does it look like it could work? And is your team a team that we can work with, that mentors will like working with, and that we can actually help to progress through our program? So I am going to introduce you to everybody, and then I'm going to call on a few people who've told me that they have to leave early. So we are going to hear from the following people today. So Rachit Kejarawal is the managing director of the MIT Climate Tech and Energy Prize. We have a lot of people who come through Cleantech Open who have participated in the Climate Tech and Energy Prize for the past several years. We always have somebody who is part of that program. Martha Broad is the executive director of the MIT Energy Initiative and also happens to be a Cleantech Open mentor. Roman Lubinsky is the executive director of the NSF I-Corps New England Regional Innovation Node at MIT. By the way, if you participate in I-Corps, you are in very good shape to participate in Cleantech Open. Whether you have just done it or you're doing it at the same time, it's very synergistic with Cleantech Open. And Chris Noble is the director of corporate engagement at the MIT Environmental Solutions Initiative, and formerly was at the TLO, the Technology Licensing Office, and he also is a mentor at Cleantech Open. So I'm going to call on all of those people, but first, I also want to introduce you to 4 of our startups who have gone through the program. So Elise Stroback is the CEO of AeroShield and is the 2019 Cleantech Open National Grand Prize winner. So congratulations again to Elise. She did great in the program, and we had met, by the way, when she was in the 100K program at MIT. Quantum Way went through, I believe, the water program, the water prize at MIT, but you can tell us, Quantum. Anyway, he's the CEO of Harmony Desal, and he participated in the 2020 Cleantech Open. We will also hear from Sanchali Pal, who's the CEO of Joro, and she was a 2017 Northeast winner. And her company has since moved to California, and she's doing great. And Francesco Benedetti is the CEO of Osmoses, which is a Cleantech Open Northeast winner from 2021, and the winner of the Carbon Sequestration Prize. And I believe that he had won the 100K when he was at MIT, or prior to Cleantech Open. So I'm going to stop sharing. And I want to turn it over first to Sanchali, because Sanchali said she has to go soon. So if Sanchali's still here, I hope we haven't lost Sanchali.
I am still here.
Okay, we'll give you a couple minutes. So take it away, Sanchali.
Thank you so much, Beth. It's so wonderful to be in this Cleantech Open Northeast group. It brings me back to a few years ago when we were here too, thinking about applying. We, as Beth said, went through Cleantech Open in 2017. At the time, I was in graduate school and I was with a group of graduate students. We had an idea from some of our research for a tool that could help consumers understand and manage their carbon emissions through their lifestyles. And we were looking at different data sources for that. Cleantech Open was a place where we were able to really refine our ideas, come up with one solution that we were going to present, and also figure out how we were going to work together as a team. We got incredible feedback from the mentors and from the team at Cleantech Open. And it also revealed a lot of challenges we had on the product and on the team if we were going to build it. So it felt like a nice sort of safe space to try ideas and to get feedback and refine our thinking. And also because we won the Northeast region, we were able to get some early capital, non-dilutive capital for the company. We also ended up winning money at the MIT Clean Energy Prize. And so that early non-dilutive capital was really beneficial to us as we were building out our first prototypes and testing. Before building the company, I ended up graduating from my MBA program and then moving to the West Coast and starting the company, and really starting the company in earnest in 2019. And having that time to really refine our thinking and test out different prototypes and projects was incredibly valuable. So now I'm based in Oakland, California. We have a team of 10. We raised our seed round a little over a year ago. We've brought in $3.5 million of equity funding led by Sequoia in our last round. We also have a bunch of clean energy investors on our and angels in our group of investors. And now the app is live, so you can download Joro from the App Store. You can track your emissions based on how you spend money, connect your credit and debit cards, see the emissions behind everything you buy. And you can use the product for free, or you can choose to offset your emissions. We support carbon sequestration and carbon removal projects around the world. And we help people funnel their capital towards meaningful offset projects, as well as change their behavior, discover sustainable ways of living in the product. So yeah, still a lot to do, lots ahead of us, but it's really wonderful to be able to come back here, and definitely I would encourage anyone who's thinking about it to apply. Cleantech Open was a really valuable space for us.
Thank you very much, Sanchali. And if you had one bit of advice for the next cohort, what would you say?
I would say that if you have to really use this time in Cleantech Open to test wacky ideas and also test your team and your team dynamics. I went through Cleantech Open with 2 co-founders. I started the company by myself. It was a really helpful process. We're still friends, and they've been really valuable in creating the company. But I think that those are 2 really big things you can use Cleantech Open for, is one, testing your ideas and trying things out. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. And then also really testing your relationships with your team members and making sure that you want to embark on creating a company together, which is, I think, sometimes more consequential than a marriage. Although
Thank you very much.
That is also very consequential.
Yes, it is. Great to see you, and thanks for stepping in and sharing your story, and we'll have to catch up again soon.
Yeah, it's my pleasure.
I'm going to turn it over to Rachit because he has to run off to a class soon. So Rachit, would you like to introduce yourself?
Thanks, Beth. Hi, everyone. My name is Rachit. I am an MBA student at MIT Sloan, and I'm one of the co-managing directors for the Climate and Energy Prize. So the Climate and Energy Prize, it's a student-run organization within MIT. We are essentially a 100K pitch competition. So we raise money from sponsors, whether that's international sponsors or local sponsors, to support student-run climate and energy startups. So the companies need to be 50% of the equity needs to be owned by university-level students for the company, for them to become eligible to participate in our program. And so we ran this program this year. Our finals was actually on April 1st, and we had a University of Washington company which is focused on sustainable laundry that ended up winning the competition. And they're focusing on an incredible aspect of reducing energy requirements, reducing water consumption, while still improving access to laundry services in developing regions. in low and middle income countries. And so most of our companies that participate end up applying to Cleantech Open as well. So I would highly encourage anyone who is interested to participate in Cleantech Open. It's a fantastic program. It sort of sets you up in a big way to sort of take your company to the next level. So highly encourage everyone to apply to Cleantech Open. And I'm always available to answer any questions. So please feel free to reach out.
Thank you very much, Rachi. So I will turn it over to Martha. Martha Brode, would you like to say something? Is Martha still on, or did she have to take off too? Okay, well, we'll come back to Martha if she returns. So how about Roman? Is Roman Lubinsky on?
I am.
All right.
Thanks. Yeah, so hi. As Beth mentioned, I run the National Science Foundation I-Corps program at MIT, and we're all about customer discovery. And that's really what we do. We offer a short 3-week course locally, and it's run virtually now. I think as Beth described, it should complement your Cleantech Open experience. We focus on customer discovery, the business model canvas, and some iterations, early iterations on that. I see 3 of the past participants in our program are here. Francesco, Elise Quantum, hi, how are you? I do want to mention that it takes a village of resources. We're one of them. Cleantech Open is another. We're just one piece, but I think we can be helpful to your journey, because we'll help you work on gathering evidence about product market fit. Thinking about the problems that you can solve, who has those problems, and what are the compelling value propositions to adopt that. Our course is our short course is 2 evening workshops, and you get some office hour coaching by experienced entrepreneurs. And then, well, the hard part is we have you go out and talk to people, talk to potential users and decision makers, and validate what you think is going on. We have courses starting regularly. The next one is April 20th and then May 4th. You can come, you can just go to icorps.mit.edu or just search MIT iCorps and you'll find us. And happy to have you enroll. And I guess that's it. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Lou. And Roman. I was going to call on Lou Goldish next. So Lou, I'm sorry I missed putting you in the slides, but Lou is one of the key people at Venture Mentoring Service at MIT. And this is a really, really helpful service as well. So for Lou, would you like to take the floor for a moment?
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much. I would like to tell you how the MIT Venture Mentoring Service could be of help to you. Let me just share some slides with you. Can I share my screen if you've disabled it?
Yes, I can. I'll set you up as a co-host, so go ahead.
Thank you. Just to keep people's eyeballs going.
That always works.
All right, let's see if we can do it now. Yes, indeed. Okay. Okay. MIT VMS has been operating for 22 years. We've mentored about 3,500 ventures. We get at least 1 to 2 Cleantech ventures a month. We've served many of the Cleantech Open ventures over the years. We've had winners of the national and regional Cleantech Open prizes. And a number of our Cleantech ventures have gone on to become successful operating businesses, and others are well on their way. No charge for this service, no obligation to MIT. We don't take equity or anything else. We accept virtually any venture at any stage as long as it does not violate the laws of the land or the laws of physics, and the laws of physics will sort of waffle on. So what do you have to do to be mentored by MIT VMS? Well, let me show you. First, you've got to be committed to taking the venture forward. to build a real business. And you have to have the capability to pull it off. We really want to help you create a business. Now, let me tell you what's special about MIT VMS that makes it a valuable addition to the other mentoring or coaching programs you may use. Say, for example, after you've participated in the Cleantech Open with their mentors and their resources. First, we are very, very practical. We focus on implementation, on doing. Once you've gone through the Cleantech Open and you really want to get your business going, this is where we can help. And we're not so much interested where your venture is going to be 5 years from now as it is where it's going to be 5 weeks from now. And we want to help you make genuine progress, literally from mentoring meeting to mentoring meeting. Second, we mentor you with a team of mentors, not just with one mentor, and multiple mentors all at the same time. That way you get multiple perspectives, multiple types of advice, and the exchange and interchange of ideas when all the mentors and you and your team are together can be extremely productive and creative. And to make this work, we do not assign mentors to ventures. The mentors assign themselves. Mentors who are interested in your venture, who feel they can be of help, will volunteer to be part of your mentor team. And this way, and you never know what a mentor knows, so this way there usually will be mentors who are knowledgeable in just about any specific product or service you have. And we can add or change mentors as your needs change. Also, our mentors bring contacts for you. We estimate that our 190 volunteer mentors probably have, collectively, maybe 50,000 contacts. Third, there is no time limit for working with us. This isn't a cohort arrangement. We will continue to mentor you as long as you think VMS can be of help to you. In MIT, after you graduate, or coming to VMS as an alum long out of school. And once you're into VMS, you're in for life. You can discontinue when you no longer need us. You can always come back again if you need us again. We're here for you. Fourth, the program has a formal written set of rules and guiding principles that the mentors must subscribe to. VMS is a safe haven. Mentors are here only to give you the best personal advice they can. They cannot have conflicts of interest with you. They are not looking to invest or to sell services to you, and everything you do with us is confidential. Our mentors are carefully selected, then they go through our training program in effective mentorship. So that's the MIT Venture Mentoring Service. When you're ready for us, we're ready for you.
That's really helpful, Lou. And just to clarify, I believe that there are some people here who are not necessarily affiliated with MIT. So just to clarify, I believe that this is for MIT affiliates only. Is that correct?
It is for MIT. VMS itself is for MIT affiliates. If you have one MIT community member on your team, you can have anybody else you like.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for clarifying that. Really helpful. And next I will turn it over to Chris Noble. Chris, are you on?
Yeah, hi Beth. Hi everybody. It's a pleasure to be here with all of you. It's always exciting to be at these events. There's so much energy and new ideas. I was an entrepreneur and an investor in startups for a big part of my career. And I remember waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning thinking to myself, if I don't close this deal on Friday, I'm not going to meet payroll. And that's part of running a little company. And also on the investor side, wondering if all my investment was going to go down the drain. And so despite all that, I have so much good memories, wonderful memories of being both an entrepreneur and being an investor in startups a few decades ago. And mentoring is a way of being involved and giving back and putting myself back in the shoes of the entrepreneur and of the investor and seeing if I can apply some of my experiences to what are always unique situations. There's a lot of common principles involved, but every situation also has its own unique aspects. And it's been a real privilege to be a mentor over the last few years with such talented groups. The last thing I wanted to say is I left that world to focus on the environment. I decided I wanted to spend the last part of my career focused entirely on environmental issues. That's what I do at MIT. I develop partnerships with external institutions, corporations, but also big donors and NGOs and strategic partners for MIT programs. And MIT is such a successful entrepreneurial ecosystem, in particular in life sciences. I think MIT spinouts have really revolutionized life sciences in a lot of ways. And we're doing great in clean tech, but we can do even more. I think that the innovation ecosystem in Boston is already doing a lot in clean tech, can do even more in clean tech. And so participating in that effort as well is really a privilege. So that's all I wanted to say. And it's great to be here with the rest of you.
So thank you very much, Chris. And to just point out to folks, Chris is extremely knowledgeable, and he is rather typical of many of our mentors in Cleantech Open. So we have a fabulous mentor pool, and Chris is one great example. So thank you again, Chris. And I'm going to turn it over to Elise Strobeck to tell your story.
Great. Thanks, Beth. Very excited to be here today. So my name is Elise Strobeck, and I'm the CEO, co-founder, and inventor of AeroShield Materials. And we're a startup a couple years old, a team of 6 that's working to manufacture nanoporous glass insulation to enable the next generation of energy efficient windows. And it's pretty exciting because we actually just made in the past couple of months our first 14-inch by 20-inch window, which is a big deal because that's the industry standard test size. But today in particular is bringing me back to, this research itself was started out of my PhD work at MIT. And so in 2019, even before we decided to found the company or were sure that this was really an idea worth pursuing, that was when we looked at joining the Cleantech Open. And in particular, that was just such an important transition for us to be ready to get out of the lab. Not only did it set us up on kind of a sequence of building blocks, I mean, definitely coming as the person in the basement working on the technology, now transitioning into kind of, building the team and fundraising. That was a very slow, very intense journey in terms of definitely a lot of learning and a lot of mistakes, right? A lot of things that we tried, and a lot of getting out of the building, joining programs like I-Corps, being a part of now, just finishing up our Activate Fellowship, which is again another one on the sequence of really transitioning from seeing this innovation to building a team that can drive the impact with it. And I think in particular, the Cleantech Open was so helpful so early because one, it really gave us a holistic view of the business, of the idea, also of all those pieces around the execution, things like starting to build the network in the clean tech space in the Northeast for us particularly. I remember we connected with people through the Cleantech Open in 2019 who we're just reaching back out to now to get help, to get perspective, to come back and test assumptions that it's taken us time to really understand. And I think, an earlier speaker made a comment about, really using this program as a way to test your ideas, to really get in and say, these are my assumptions, and it's really scary to put those things out there, especially when I think, there's such an opportunity in the clean tech space to be so motivated, to be so invested in the solution that it can sometimes then be scary to kind of show it all out there and say, will this really work? But I think us having had that opportunity through the Cleantech Open, there's so many perspectives on our business, not just the technology, which was our default and really easy for us, but so thinking about the financials, thinking about how we were going to build the team, how are we actually, where are we going to put the company, who is going to be important to helping us, all of those perspectives that we were maybe aware that we didn't know yet, but even some perspectives that weren't even aware we didn't know. All of those things really helped us during the Cleantech Open. And I think, really when we look at historically, a lot of the decisions that we made about, where to put the company, how to fund things, even joining the national I-Corps program came out of realizations that we had during the Cleantech Open, where we said, hey, there are questions here that we have been maybe scared to ask or not sure how to ask them. And so kind of shining a light on these things that would have been problems years later, having us do that up front and with the network and, kind of the support to say, these are the problems and here's some ways to think about solving it. I think all those things were really very helpful and saved us a lot of time and just made the process more enjoyable after by going through the Cleantech Open. Thanks, Beth.
Excellent, Elise. Thank you very much. I don't have any other questions for you. You answered everything. So let me turn it over to Quantum Way. You're on.
Thanks, Beth. Hi, everyone. Great to be here today. A lot of familiar faces. So I'm Quantum Way, co-founder of Harmony Desal. We're working to make water desalination more affordable and sustainable, and we're doing that with a technology that was developed at MIT. Like Elise, it was the focus of my PhD thesis. So back in 2019 was kind of when I first realized this technology might be ready to get out of the lab. Let's explore commercialization ideas. And the first resource we explored was actually MIT I-Corps, the Spark program. So participated in that in the summer, found that really helpful. And kind of the lessons that we learned about customer discovery have been helpful all throughout. In the spring, I teamed up with a couple other MIT graduate students, and we participated in 3 of the MIT pitch competitions, the Water Innovation Prize, the Clean Energy Prize, and 100K. That was a really good kind of bonding experience. It was the first time the team of us had been sort of working on something together. So we really got to see how the team was working together and refined our pitch deck. So then following that spring, we participated in the Cleantech Open that summer and really enjoyed that experience as well. Had some really great mentors. Chris Noble was actually one of our mentors, and it was really great to work with him. And he's even supported us kind of beyond the completion of the Cleantech Open. I think I won't rehash everything that everyone said before, but for us, I think the biggest benefit of participating in the Cleantech Open is it really got us to, in talking to mentors and getting external feedback and kind of examining our business plan, it got us to rethink what our target market was and what our value proposition was. And it was kind of a scramble, but towards the end of the summer, we actually pivoted markets from targeting desalination in the Caribbean, and we're looking instead at household water purification in India, because there's a much stronger business case there. And I don't think we would have made that pivot if it weren't for us kind of preparing for the big pitch event at the Cleantech Open Northeast Regionals. So that was super helpful for us. So kind of where we're at now, I've since graduated from MIT. We've won some money from the US Bureau of Reclamation to build a larger prototype of our device. So that is really big in de-risking the technology. That's something that we were hearing a lot over the course of our I-Corps interviews and during the Cleantech Open, that the technology still had a little bit of development that it needed to go to before industry could kind of be ready to use it. So, and we're actually pivoting again, kind of looking at enabling the use of membranes to treat mining wastewater to increase reliability of those installations. So again, I think we're again looking to kind of use the lessons that we learned in I-Corps and in the Cleantech Open. And we've also been utilizing the venture mentoring service. That's been really helpful throughout. And that's also a resource that's available to MIT students even after you've graduated. So wanted to plug that there. So yeah, I'd say, I guess advice, if you're looking to commercialize a clean tech technology, it's a long journey, and there are different paths to success. And I think success also looks very different for different startups. So, but if you believe in the solution that you've got and you can find someone who's got a problem that you can solve, I'd say, yeah, keep with it and make sure that you're learning and working with great people. And yeah, happy to be here. Thanks, Beth.
Great. Thank you very much, Quantum. Great to see you, and I'd love to catch up afterwards. So let me put on Francesco Benedetti, you're on.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Beth. Thanks, everyone, for being here. Francesco, CEO and co-founder at Osmosis. We're also an MIT spin-out. A very similar story to Elise and Quantum. Elaborate more on that, but just to give a sense of what we do. So we are a membrane technology company. So we're trying to redesign the way molecular separations are performed in the chemical, petrochemical, and energy industry. Now there's a lot of solvent-based or thermal-based processes, burns a lot of energy, emits a lot of CO2. We're trying to solve this problem with membrane technologies that is a much more sustainable solution. And we're very excited about being involved in such a big challenge that now the world is facing, in particular in this decarbonization transition that we're all experiencing. Our company is super young. We started last year in 2021. Actually, 2021 redefines the whole experience that we had. So it's kind of easy to follow because we started thinking seriously about the company at the beginning of 2021. I'm glad Roman is on the call. We went through ICOR program is the first thing that we did before the MIT chapter and then the national program. And it was extremely helpful for us to start focusing more on the value and less on just the feature of our technology, because I think something that all people that come, and I'm guilty of it, come from a scientific background as a researcher. You're very much in love with your technology and you think that the technology is going to solve all the problems in the world. And then you face customers and industry and you realize, oh, actually, well, I need to learn a little bit how this can actually be useful for anything out there. And you face reality, but that's a beautiful experience at the same time, because you also learn really where you actually make a difference, but also other things that you never thought about, because actually now you're not just talking to academic partners, but you're talking to people that have been in industry for a while. So it was beautiful. At the end of that program, I think we were prepared enough to talk more about value and really what is kind of a business model around this idea. We did the MIT 100K competition, and in May we won that competition. So we won the grand prize there, which was great. At the same time, we became Activate Fellows. So Liz is also in the Activate program. And it's an incredible program. And I think that really launched us into the summer, which is when 1 week after all this happened, we started the Cleantech Open Accelerator. And I would say why this was different for me, and why it really brought a lot of help in building the team, experiencing working together on top of what other people said before, is that the Cleantech Open program is very structured. There's a lot of chapters and they follow you every week, addressing a different piece of what it means to build a company at an early stage like we were. So it was very helpful to have a structure to follow, and doing so with mentors that are selected to help you where you need help the most. And there's a process at the beginning where you go through really how you define success, as Quantum said, like, what do you need? Where do you need to grow? And I think for us, there were so many useful things. For instance, we had a mentor that was very expert in the industry we're targeting, one expert in the manufacturing piece, an investor, because we were going to fundraise throughout the summer, and also somebody with business model experience, so also looking into that. So that was extremely helpful. And the other thing that was really different is, like, there's a huge focus on sustainability, and there are tools to quantify the impact that you're going to have with your technology and help you guiding through that thinking, because there's a lot of standards out there, but having a framework is very helpful. And the numbers that Beth showed at the beginning are really come from that analysis that groups need to do as they go through the program. So found it very helpful as well. And at the end of the Cleantech Open Accelerator, we won the regional prize and the carbon sequestration prize. We also closed our pre-seed round that was led by the Engine, and it was a $3 million pre-seed round. So I think I would say all this experience really helped us positioning our value proposition, storytelling, and overall the company as it was at that back in the fall to close that round. So I would say very good if you're thinking about fundraising. And now yesterday we had our first company launch with 9 people that are officially involved at this stage. So it's an incredible feeling to see everybody around us, the company growing, and all the conversation with customers moving forward. And it's just a beautiful time for Cleantech to happen. And I'm glad to be part of this journey and to be an alum of the Cleantech Open.
Thank you very much, Francesco. Really helpful to hear what you have to say, and keep going. All of you, you're doing great work. It's wonderful to consider you as part of the Cleantech Open family. Just a couple more slides, just to let you know how to find out more about Cleantech Open. So our media kit, this is our Northeast media kit. You can find it at bit.ly/CTOMK 2022. So check that out. That has recordings of various past webinars. There are brochures, social media blurbs, and prize information and some other things. So take a look at bit.ly/CTOMK 2022. And I also want to encourage everyone who is interested in progressing your Cleantech venture to apply by April 17th, cleantechopen.org. And that's it. I just want to thank everyone for coming today. And if you can spread the word that Cleantech Open applications are due very soon, April 17th, it will be great to see who can represent Massachusetts, MIT, other places where I believe some folks are from who joined us today. So thank you again. I will stop sharing and we can turn off the recording. And if anyone does have any questions, we can stick around for a couple of minutes to answer any questions you might have.